Hi everyone, welcome to another month of Kimberbell's digital dealer exclusives with Quilt Beginnings. My name is Jess and I'm going to show you how to put together this adorable tea towel. We can either do it the collage technique way or the regular applique method, but this is a great project to use up your scraps, to personalize it, and to add your own little flair. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's pull out your kit. You should have a light blue fabric. This is going to be for our vase. You should also have one Kimberbell blank tea towel. It's either going to be striped or polka dot, so whichever one you get, it's going to be super cute. All right, then we included the steam-a-seam too. So this is if you're wanting to do more of a collage technique, which this one covers, or you could do a regular applique and use this for something else. So that's what this is. This is not stabilizer. I will note that right now. It's not stabilizer. Okay? The ones with the yellow lines, okay? And then you should also have a piece of sticky back tearaway stabilizer. Okay, this is what we will put in the hoop. All right, so you should have those 4 things, and then this is the perfect time to go through your stash, pick some colors out, the smaller pieces, and do a more of a collage look. Okay. However, I'm just going to be doing the applique version since it's the easiest to do. However, the collage, I would also say, is very easy to do. And Kimberbell has great instructions on how to create the collage look, okay? So it also has instructions on how to use the steam-a-seam and how to cut your fabrics, where to place them, all of that. I feel like you're gonna have a lot of fun with that. And I can show you an example I did a little bit later. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put the steam-a-seam to the side. And I am first going to hoop my stabilizer, okay? So, for those of you who may not know, I have a different way of hooping sticky back stabilizer. So feel free to do this method if you'd like, but if not, that's totally okay as well, okay? So normally we would put this into our hoop and try to hoop it like this with the paper. However, I like to do this method where I put my hoops back together, and then we're gonna grab our stabilizer and actually reveal the paper, or the sticky side, by taking off the paper, the entire thing, okay? Then what you're going to do is place the sticky side right side up, and then place your hoop right on top, okay? And then what I like to do is, since this is tearaway, I'm going to tear away some of the excess. It's not the prettiest looking, but gets the job done. Okay. Ooh, that is sticky. And I'm going to fold it over my corners just to make sure that it doesn't move. Okay. And again, you can tear off the excess if you want. Okay. Being careful not to tear anything within the inside of the embroidery hoop. And fold this over. So, like I said, not very pretty looking, but it is nice. And then after we're all done, you'll just rip it off. And if there's any residue, you can take like a wet washcloth, paper towel, a wipe, anything like that, and it comes off really, really well. Okay? Okay, so now that we have prepped our stabilizer, let's go ahead and set this to the side, and we're going to start prepping our tea towel, okay? So we are on step 6, all right? And it says fold tea towel in half lengthwise, right sides together. So I'm going to open this up, all right? And we're going to fold it lengthwise, so it's like hot dog style. All right. Okay, and I'm actually going to turn it. Oh, guess what? It says right sides together. Good thing I looked again. Right sides together. Okay. With the fold on the left side. Okay. Now we are going to measure 6 inches up from the bottom. Here, let me move this. We're going to measure 6 inches up from the bottom, okay? So, let's see here. 6 inches. You can kind of just eyeball this. And we're going to fold it up as 6 inches, okay? So I'm going to take my iron and just give it a nice press. Right there. Okay. All right. So once again, we folded it in half lengthwise, and then we measured 6 inches and folded it up at the 6-inch mark. Okay. All right. Perfect. So we're going to go ahead and set this to the side for right now. Grab our embroidery hoop. And the first step that it wants us to do is actually, this is back on step 5, I kind of went ahead. We are going to load and stitch the centering crosshairs. And this is going to help us center our tea towel in the hoop. Okay, so let's go to the machine. We're going to stitch directly on the stabilizer the crosshairs. So we're going to go ahead and stitch that. Okay, well, that was easy enough. I did this in a color that you can all see, so I did a bright pink. However, you don't have to do that. You can do like a white or something, but something that you can see to help you center your project here in just a second, okay? So let's go back over to our workstation and put our tea towel on the hoop. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go back to step number 9. Okay, and how we determine what fold edge is, which it is. The folded edge A is on the left side of the tea towel. So this is A, this is B. A, B. Okay, and that says it on step 8, but then step 9, we're going to align the folded edge A of the tea towel with the horizontal crosshairs. Okay, so it's going to look like this. So A is aligned horizontally, B is vertically. Okay, so once I get it there, I'm going to smooth that out and then slowly open up my tea towel and smooth it as I go along. Okay. And I like to smooth from the center out. make sure it gets really flat, okay? All right, and then something I like to do is I like to roll this side up, and you're welcome to pin it, clip it, just a way to keep it out from the embroidery arm or under your hoop, okay? So we'll get that out of the way. Okay, so if you are wanting to do the collage method, I'll show you on the camera here. It wants us to cut out squares. It's better to do squares of fabric scraps and then squares of sticky fusible web, which is that Steam-A-Seam 2 that we gave you. You want to cut them out in squares. You're going to remove the paper liner from the sticky fusible web, which is this, and then place the remaining on the wrong side of the fabric, okay? And feel free to iron it to adhere it, or you can firmly press it and it will still stick, okay? So that is how you prep your fabric scraps, okay? To do the collage method. Now, if you're doing just a regular applique method, you can skip all of this and continue on with just the normal, the placement line, tack down line, trim method. Okay, and then you can disregard all the steps about the collage pieces, okay? But all of us are gonna do the exact same steps for right now for the vase. Okay, so what it wants us to do is to stitch our placement line for the vase. Then we're going to place our blue fabric, okay, covering that placement line. Then we're going to stitch the vase tack down and quilting stitches, okay? And then we'll trim after that. You all know how this all goes. It's pretty simple. Once you get the hang of it, all Kimberbell patterns follow the same steps, okay? So we'll go ahead and do steps 6 through 9, and then we'll move on from there. All right, so we have that all stitched out. Now we're going to trim the excess, and actually I'm going to use my duckbill scissors to get the bulk of it out of the way, okay? And I want you to note that this is a raw edge applique, so take your time cutting to make sure it looks really nice. Okay, and then I can take my other scissors to get into those tighter places. Okay. I call these my surgical tools. There's lots of different uses. Okay. And there we have it. I love the detail of the vase. The quilting is just really fun. I suggest to do a different color than the fabric because then it just makes it pop that much more. Okay. All right. So we have finished that step. Let's see. We are on step 10. Okay. Now, everyone will do the placement line regardless if they're doing the collage version or the applique version, okay? So we'll stitch the placement line, and then for those of you doing collage, you're going to refer to step 11, but also Kimberbell has some great instructions here step by step. So if you need a refresher of how to do the collage quilting, you can refer, it's on page 2, all right? And so every time you see one of those steps, it's with the scissors and there's kind of round curves to the cutout, that's the collage version, okay? All right, so we'll go ahead and do the placement line, and then we're gonna go do the tack down line, okay? And again, on page 11, it shows you how to do the collage here, okay? All right, and then you'll repeat all those steps for all 3 flowers, okay? But we'll focus on the peach orangey flower right now, okay? So we're gonna go to our machine, stitch the placement line, and then we'll place the fabric, do the tack down line, and then the stitching, okay? So let's go over there. Okay, now we're going to do the tack down line. And I have a little tip for you here. So you can see that I actually folded this fabric in half. This will help because it is a solid fabric, it won't show the background color underneath. And it also gives it a little bit more poofiness, a little bit more dimension to the flowers. So feel free to do that if you'd like. I think it's kind of fun, and then you don't have to worry about using the fusible on the back. So completely up to you. Okay, so now we're gonna go trim this. Okay. And again, if you were doing the collage version, instead of just placing one piece of fabric, you'd have all those several pieces with that sticky fusible on the back, do the tack down line, and then you would trim your excess on the outside. Okay, does that kind of make sense of how that works? They have some great videos and step outs in the instructions on how to do that. So, okay, but we're all going to trim. Again, I would use a different color thread than your fabric, so then you can see the details even better. Again, this is raw edge, so take your time cutting it. Trim is needed, so, okay. All right, so now what it's going to do is a decorative stitch on the inside to make it look like a flower. Okay, so we'll go to our machine and stitch that out. Okay, so now what it wants us to do is it's going to do a decorative fill stitch in the center of the flower. Okay, so you could do like a yellow, you could do a peach, I mean, you could do a blue. It's totally up to you. Okay. Okay, and go ahead and do that fill stitch. Up next, we are going to do the leaves detail stitches. So I would choose a light green and a dark green, so then you can see the detail stitches in it. So for the base of the leaves, I'm actually going to do a dark green, okay? But you can switch it up however you like. All right, so now we're going to do the decorative stitch on the inside of the leaves. So I'm going to change my thread to a light green. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the purple flower and then eventually the red flower. We're going to repeat the same steps, so we'll just keep going ahead and sewing. It's a really easy project, super fun if you do the collage or the applique. But yeah, so we'll keep going with this and then we'll show you at the end how to finish it all up. And there we have it. We are all done stitching this out. Look how pretty that is. Now, if I were to do this again, I would definitely do like a red and a purple that doesn't match the color. Maybe I would do like a blue or a yellow here. The detail stitches are really what makes it. It's so, so cute. But also, if you have collage quilting, you could do white or cream instead as like the flower outline where your fabrics have the color. So feel free to make it your own, personalize it. But we're gonna go over to our workstation, pull this out of the hoop, and call it good, okay? So let's go over here. Okay, and the easiest part of this all, I like to tear it at an angle right out of the hoop. Okay. And then I can come in here and tear this away even more if I want to. Again, I wouldn't worry too much about it because people are going to be looking at the front, not the back. Okay, so you can get in here, get rid of a little bit more excess. Then we'll just peel this off our hoop for an easy cleanup. This is my favorite method. Okay. And where it tears away, it's just so easy. Ta-da! And no residue. Pretty sweet. Okay. All right, and there we have our June tea towel design. Let's see, fold it like that. It's very striking on the blue stripes, I think. Very, very cute. So there you have it. I can't wait to see what you come up with, how you personalize it with either fabric or thread. Can't wait to see, and hope you enjoyed this month's Digital Dealer exclusive. Okay, so another project that uses the collage quilting method is found on Kimberbell's CD, Emma's Collage Pillows. And this is one of the pillows that I did myself. So it's kind of hard to tell because they're all similar in colors, but these are all different fabrics. So I've got more of like a herringbone, I've got some flowers and leaves, I've got some cross-hatching fabric, polka dots right here. So really it looks almost like it's one fabric, but really it's a mixture of like 5-6 different fabrics. And even on the leaves here, I've got a stripe, solids. You know, I used up my scraps to make this really pretty pillow. And there's lots of designs like this on Kimberbell's Emma's Collage Pillows, which they sell the CD here at Quilt Beginnings. I think it's a great way, like I said, to use up your scraps, personalize it, and make it your own. So check that CD out as well.